What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Sermon, at Sermon's Domain on Twitter. A few days ago, Kanye had his San Francisco show, and it was a disaster. He only performed a few records, if that, and then went on a 15 to 20-minute rant that really sent the internet into a frenzy. And from that disastrous concert came the cancellation of the rest of the St. Pablo tour, as well as refunds for the people that attended the San Francisco show. At first, I really didn't want to talk about Kanye, but the more it's around on the internet, the more you're seeing the opinions and everything, I feel like I had to do some kind of video on it and kind of discussing it. I want to do it in sort of a neutral way because I don't want to sit here and choose sides, because I know there's different opinions on the internet. There's people saying Kanye has mental issues, he needs to check those out. There's other people that's like, wait, Kanye's this same person that he's always been, and this is the proof. In tackling the mental health angle, I do feel like there's something going on with Kanye, because nobody lashes out at their friends like that, like he did at the San Francisco show. So he called out Jay. That's nothing new. The two have been at ends for the last few months. Kanye wants Jay to approve this title Apple thing for Kanye and Drake to do this album together, and apparently Jay won't call Kanye. And my thing is, if Kanye actually did reach out to Jay and Jay's just been ducking him this whole time, then Kanye does have a valid reason for saying what he's been saying. When you can't get a hold of somebody, how else are you going to make it known that there is an issue? Some people say just keep it private, but at some point with Kanye's ego and his emotions, it's going to just blow up, and he needs to get it out there. So it would make sense from a Kanye point of view if he reached out, Jay never picked up, never called back, has been ducking him completely. That would make sense. It's very unprofessional as well for someone who is doing business with your streaming service. So there's that. But again, we only have that one side. We only have Kanye's side. We don't have Jay's side. We don't know what's really going on with the full story there. We may never know, because Jay is a very private person. He's not someone who's going to hop on Twitter and say, yada yada yada, Kanye this, Kanye that. He's not that type of person. He might get him to address it in the music at some point, but I don't think it's going to be a topic on Jay-Z's mind going forward. So there was that. There's the Kanye versus Jay-Z thing. So that's normal. That was normal to me, him lashing out against Jay. But here's where it gets kind of tricky. Kanye said that Beyonce only performed at MTV's Music Awards because she was going to win Video of the Year. Like, if she wasn't going to win Video of the Year, she wouldn't have performed there. And to that I ask Kanye, are you in it for the art, or are you in it for the awards? I think it's a selfish thing to do. You've defended Beyonce her entire career. There's all these infamous moments throughout the last decade where you stood up for Beyonce. Now you're calling her out. Like, to me, that screams out something is wrong. It's kind of similar to when Kid Cudi was going at Kanye and throwing shots at Drake, which was nothing new, but going at Kanye was kind of different. So it feels like one of those situations where Kanye is definitely experiencing some mental health issues, and he needs to get that stuff checked out. He also called out Drake and DJ Khaled, saying they're using payola on the radio to get For Free spun everywhere, and that it's affecting him in some way of getting Pablo music on the radio. And to that, there's really no correlation between the two. Again, it's one of those things where Kanye is just saying whatever to get some kind of a reaction. If he really wanted Pablo on the radio, you go through Def Jam. Def Jam handles that, figures it out. But to call out Drake and to call out DJ Khaled because they're doing whatever they're doing, it's not confirmed. Obviously, it's never going to be confirmed. Payola is something that is like one of those myths in hip-hop where you know it exists, it's happened, but you can never really prove that it's happening right now for this song or anything. So what Kanye's saying is only that one side. And he's also pretty much like demolished that relationship between him and Drake. Now there's no chance of this collaboration album happening. Drake responded last night after he won an AMA award on one of DJ Khaled's comments in his Instagram. He said, Basically, that Kanye needs to stop crying and make a hit record, and that's how you would get on the record, or on the radio, excuse me. So there you have that. I'm sure the relationship can be repaired in the future, but right now it looks like things for that collaboration album are just not gonna happen. And then you had like the whole issues with trying to make it happen on a commercial level. So it seemed like it was a project that was doomed from the beginning, but it would have taken a miracle to make it happen. So you had that, and those two right there, the Beyonce and then the Drake slash DJ Khaled thing, are what makes me think that Kanye is having some kind of a breakdown. He needs to go talk to somebody. He needs to check into rehab. And if he's on drugs, which I really hope is not the scenario, then he definitely needs to get clean and really get his mind focused. Kanye says things and then kind of backpedals on them. For instance, he said, "Listen to the kids." Remember that infamous quote, "Listen to the kids," last summer of 2015 from the MTV Awards. He said, "Listen to the kids, bro," and went on this long rant. But during his San Francisco show, he said, "I would have voted for Donald Trump." I think if you were listening to the kids, you would know that most of the kids, more than likely almost everybody at your concert, is not a Donald Trump fan, is not a supporter, and you endorsing Trump is not going to get them to change their minds. It's one of those things where you have such a disconnect between being a celebrity and being a regular person. It's the same reason why Wayne doesn't feel connected to Black Lives Matter, even though it does affect him and his community. So with Kanye endorsing Trump, it really alienates his fans, the people that support him. I've seen so many people wanting to turn their back on Kanye. And at that point, it's hard to make excuses. You can't defend that. You can't defend the fact that he's supports Trump, that he believes Trump's campaign was genius. You cannot support that at some point. So that's the other angle. I think Kanye does need to be held accountable for his actions. And at the same time, it's his opinion. Don't get me wrong, it's his opinion and he can say whatever the hell he wants, but I think he has to also experience the backlash because of it. He has to realize that voicing his political opinion is going to alienate the fans that don't view it the same way, especially when it's this bad of a situation. Trump is going to do nothing good for the fans of Kanye West. There might be some good in it for Kanye because he's rich and those are the type of people that Donald Trump cares about, even though he's black. So maybe he's not as important in the eyes of Donald Trump, but there's still going to be more benefits for Kanye than there is for the average Kanye fan. So I do believe that Kanye needs to seek some help. And that he needs to also think a little bit. He needs to have people in his corner that will tell him, hey, you shouldn't say this, you shouldn't do that. But it's hard because Kanye does a lot of things in the moment. So it's not like there's somebody that's like, you know what, I know that you're going to, talk about Trump tonight, so maybe you shouldn't do that. He doesn't have those kind of people around him. And even if he did have people that aren't yes men, that will stand up to what he's feeling, what he's thinking, and not even like against it, but just like, you shouldn't say that. It's hard because Kanye does do things in the moment. He gets on that stage and he'll go into a stream of consciousness just right then and there, speaking on everything that he wants, passionately, of course. So I can understand the two sides. Kanye definitely needs some help, mental issues, but then you also can't defend him when he says stuff about Donald Trump, or when he wears the Confederate flag, or when he defends Bill Cosby. Like, these things are stuff that you can't defend, that you can't, as a Kanye fan, you can't be down for. You can't apologize for Kanye's actions. Kanye has to own up to his actions, and I think he tends to do that. So it's a long, complicated situation. One that I feel you could continue to discuss and talk about. I wanted to kind of remain neutral while highlighting both sides. Those are my thoughts on everything that's been going on with Kanye. So I want to know what your thoughts are. Talk to me in the comment section. I talked a lot in this video, a lot of different situations, a lot of different opinions that I hold, that Kanye holds. Let me know what you're thinking in the comment section below. Then like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, share the video. Follow me on Twitter @SermonsDomain. And as always, thank you for your time. I appreciate you for watching. And until next time, peace.